welcome back to Woody Bay. This is episode 17 of Steam on the Moor, and for anybody that's tuning in for the first time, welcome. So in today's episode we thought we'd bring you up to date with some of the things that are going on at Woody Bay. For example, we have Van 23 chassis in front of me here that we've mentioned in previous episodes. This is still undergoing construction before it then heads to Essex for the body to be fitted. Some of the other things we'd like to show you is our new mini museum, our Rail 200 rail trail, and of course how we're getting on with our carriage shelter. So as many supporters and members will know, it's been a long held ambition of the railway to actually have some form of museum of all of the various Lynton and Barnstaple artefacts that have either been donated or loaned to the railway over the years. So we've been going through a process of identifying the artefacts, who donated them, the history behind them, and actually listing them out so we can see exactly what we've got. So what's really exciting, as part of Rail 200, we've been able to put a small taster exhibition together here in our cafe. This is a forerunner to having a museum in the future. So in the cabinet you can see here, we've tried to cover a whole range of things. There's a whole little section about fundraising dogs on the Southern Railway, which links in with Henry, our own fundraising dog. We've got a section about Sir George Newnes, and we've got some fascinating paperwork that give an insight into the social history of the railway. So this being the Rail 200 celebration year, we've decided that we were going to put a lot of effort into actually explaining more of our history, something of a legacy that could last into the future. So over the next few months we're going to be adding more history signs here around the railway, more information about what locomotives are steaming, hopefully giving the average visitor more information about the railway. We'd especially like to mention the kind sponsorship by SKF for the signs that you're going to see. So here we are on the site of where our carriage shelter is going to take place, and you can see by the glorious Exmoor weather today the reason that we really need a carriage shelter to protect our very precious wooden carriages. Quite a lot of work has already started on the site here. We had to start with the track work. So first of all, the head shunt, which is where the shelter is going, has had to be moved over to allow enough clearance for the shelter itself. The point work here has been altered. Both points have actually been transposed to give us the room and to give us also the geometry into the site. A lot of this work was done over our volunteer work weekend, which was blessed with much better weather today, and thank you to all of the people that turn up for those weekends. We've still got an awful lot of work to do here. We've got track work to go back into the bay, we've got drains to move, we've got retaining walls to build, long before we actually start on the shelter. So I'm effectively stood in what is the doorway of the carriage shelter, and it will be going in that direction. In this place here, we've had to make sure we get the correct clearance from the running line and then the clearance over to the transshipment siding for safety reasons. We then have to remove all of the bank on that side and put in a stone gabion retaining wall to keep it all upright before we then start the construction of the shelter. So I'm now actually inside where the shelter would be, which would be excellent, and as you can see by the weather today. The track in front of me is actually going to have to be lifted. We're going to have to put the foundations in for the shelter and then actually put the track back. So one of the reasons of putting the shelter where it is the fact you've got easy access from the up loop straight back into here in the shelter at the end of the day, as you can see here. So this carriage would now be in the shelter, out of this wet mist, all this kind of weather that's rotting these carriages away. Now you can see by this thermometer below where we are with the fundraising. There's still ample opportunity to support this project, something that is really, really important to the survival of these carriages. You can support this worthwhile project by scanning the QR code below or visiting the website for details. You can donate on the website or by post. No matter how big or small, it all really helps. So there we are. Thanks for watching. Please watch in the future. All your support is really, really appreciated. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.